Hi, it's Brian Newman with the Spotlighted Business Owner Show, and today we're thrilled to have Brian Zettler. Hi, Brian. Yeah, he's with Window Hero. How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy Sunday to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. You too. Yeah, so boy, you got a great business. And before we get into learning about it, can you tell people a little bit about your background and how you did get into the business?
Yeah, I kind of fell into a business. I have a long background in sales and customer support, actually 20 years in the corporate business. So, January this year, I decided to follow in pretty much my entire family's footsteps and start a business. My sister, she owns a yoga studio on, it's called Sweatshop on Central. My brother-in-law, Kalen, he owns a bike shop up in Cave Creek called Flat Tire Bike Shop. Both my parents have been self-employed at one point or another at time in their life. So why I never had gone that way up until I was 40 years old, that's a great question. But it was just one of those things that as my son, who is 11 now, got older and more into sports, corporate America, especially if you're managing young people and in the office, it doesn't lend itself to spending a lot of time around home and at school events and functions and sporting events and things like that. So that's kind of really what led me to business ownership, is just being all around it, seeing the freedom and flexibility everybody other than I had. So that's what kind of led me into a franchise and a business.
Oh, okay. And what areas do you cover? I know it's what Scottsdale and Paradise Valley.
Absolutely. The territory. So we're a franchise. So we do have territories. We have all of Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, the Biltmore area, all the way up to Fountain Hills, Carefree, Cave Creek. But the great thing about Window Hero at the moment is there's no other franchise owner in Arizona. So at this point, the
Oh,
entire Maricopa County is up for grabs. And I do intend to expand into some of the other areas, but we try to focus on our home area. So Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, and kind of that north area around Cave Creek.
oh, okay. All right. I know, just like in the networking business, there's a lot of competition. You've got a lot of competition, I'm sure. What sets your business apart from other window cleaning companies?
Absolutely. When you look at the competition in window cleaning and pressure washing, it ranges wildly. It ranges from, you know, guys that are just operating out of the back of their car. They have a ladder and a bucket in the back seat of their car, or guys that have 45 trucks. There's huge window companies that do this, but really, where we bring to the table is kind of a balance of both. Right? I'm a small business owner. I'm local here. We'll grow to 10, 12, 15 employees, maybe at the most. That's kind of the goal one day, but we're very professional. What's nice about being a franchise is we have a lot of support from corporate, and that involves a lot of corporate incentivized training. So not only is there ongoing training for the technicians, but for myself as well, so that I know the different rules and regulations, the compliance, the tools of the trade, right? So that we're staying up to date on all the latest and making sure we're utilizing the right soaps and solvents and things like that to make sure that we're doing the job effectively. And of course, we're also licensed and insured. We carry a few $1 million in insurance, and liability and workers' comp. And the reality of it is that a lot of the people that are out there, especially on areas like Craigslist or just when you Google it, they don't have that. And you get somebody out there on top of your roof cleaning your high up windows or something like that, and they fall off, that can jeopardize your livelihood. So that's something that we bring to the table that can give you that extra level of comfort and security, but also you can have that confidence. We're going to do the job. We're going to do the
Uh,
job to the utmost satisfaction.
oh, okay. No, I know there's a lot of commercial properties out there that have windows. There's residential. Do you like specialize in any one over the other? And like some of them are like one story, two stories, three stories. Like how high, how many stories do you guys cover?
That's a really good question. It's kind of a funny question because as an individual, I'm afraid of heights. I'm not rappelling off the top of
Oh,
a
wow.
roof. That's not
Yeah.
happening. Although I will get on the top of a ladder. Reluctantly, sometimes I will get on the top of a 32-foot ladder or 40-foot ladder when we have to
Uh-huh.
do it. But we specialize in both commercial residential. It's a balance in both, right? Commercial is a wonderful resource because it's reoccurring. Typically, a commercial client is going to be somebody that wants their service is done monthly, quarterly, on a regular basis, right? So it's a little bit more reliable. You can fill out the schedule. But then there's so much here in Scottsdale and in Paradise Valley in our territories that the beautiful, beautiful homes that need our services. So there's so much business to go around. You talked about competition earlier. There's enough business for everybody, but we'll go up to 4 floors. So one of the things that we do bring to the table is what's called a water-fed pole system. That's a little technical, but one of the things that we try not to do, we try never to get on a roof, and we try never to get on a ladder if we can. That's not obviously possible all the time. But on some of the higher up windows, we have a pole system that we use that has a brush and a water filtration system that allows us to clean a lot of these large commercial buildings. Like, for example, about 2.5 weeks ago, we did the Ritz-Carlton Clubhouse. Well, the back of their building is about 50 feet high, and it is windows from sky to
Oh, wow.
floor to ceiling,
Wow.
whatever.
Mhm.
And we didn't have to get up on the roof. We didn't have to rappel. We didn't have to do anything. We used
Oh,
this filtration system that's very, very advanced, takes the water down to really a 0 parts per million, anywhere between 0 and 10 parts per million, which leaves us a very, very clean surface. So it's kind of a cool technology.
oh, that is cool. Speaking of technology, yeah, can you elaborate a little bit about that? I
For
know you
sure.
guys have an advanced water system that you use.
Yeah, so the water here in Arizona is terrible. Anybody who's lived here for any length of time, actually has lived anywhere else and then come here, realizes our water is extremely hard, lots of calcium, lots of deposits. So most people have like whole home water systems and things like that. They spend thousands of dollars on it. Well, we basically have one of those mobile in the truck. It's a 3-stage system. It's a sediment filter. It's a reverse osmosis, and it's a deionization filter. And it allows us to make sure that when we're doing a cleaning, we're utilizing clean water. Because what people end up doing, and one of the things that makes our job very difficult, is a lot of people will take their garden hose and they will spray their windows down every once in a while. That is the
Uh-huh.
worst thing you could do, because what that does is that leaves calcium deposits, and it leaves whatever else is in the water on your window, right? Well, yeah, and people don't realize this. They think, oh, well, glass is a really, really hard surface. Well, you can permanently damage your windows if you put too much, you do that too often. If you never, ever professionally clean, or really just, again, clean your own windows at a professional level, you could ruin your glass. You could etch that glass, and then eventually you can see that. And that etching holds dirt. So when you have a brand new, really nice piece of glass and you keep it clean, it stays clean. But if you neglect it, and you do stuff like, again, spray your garden hose, or you never ever ever clean your windows, you can ruin your windows, and again, you pay the price for that over the long run. So
Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't know
that
that.
water
Yeah.
system helps us kind of avoid that as well.
Oh, okay. No, so I want to remind our viewers who we're talking to. We're talking to Brian Zettler, and he's with Window Hero. Brian, what is the best way for people to reach out to you, sign up for your business, and even read about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to post as frequently as possible on social media. In our business, heavy in before and after photos and things like that. So we try to show what we do, and it's kind of fun, right? Before and after photos are fun to post and to share and things like that. But right now, reaching out to me as the owner is the best way to do it. My cell phone number is listed here on the screen. It's 480-330-2676. That's my phone number. You can text me. You can call me. I have an iPhone. I know a lot of people appreciate that. But yeah, you can call me, text me, shoot me a photo of what you're looking to have done. I can personally come out to the house, or have one of my crew members come out to the house and do an in-person quote for you. But I also do have the support of my corporate office, and there is a call center that does help manage a lot of the phone calls. So if you look us up on Google, or if you go to any of the major advertisers that we're out there, there's a different phone number. But if you want a little bit more personal experience, you're welcome to call me anytime. I take this business very seriously. And again, my cell phone number is probably the best way to do it.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you describe also like the variety of services you offer to
Yeah,
customers?
sure. Well, I mean, as obvious as it sounds, we do window cleaning, but a lot of people, the one thing that a lot of people think is, oh, we only do out exterior. We're not a maid service, but we do interior, exterior windows. And we can detail windows. We can detail screens. If you have solar screens, we can clean and detail those with a UV protectant to make them last a lot longer, to help them repel dirt and grime. We do pressure washing. Pressure washing, it intimidates a lot of people when they hear pressure washer. But the nice thing about the fact that I don't just have a pressure washer from Home Depot is I have a commercial grade 5,000 psi pressure washer that I can
Oh,
vary
wow.
from 5,000 down, and I can bring it actually all the way down to very very low pressure, and do things
Uh-huh.
like flagstone or sandstone or travertine, or we've done marble. We have a client that we're doing porcelain for. They have porcelain in their backyard all over the place. It's really an impressive backyard, but it allows us to clean pretty much any hardscape. We just have to have, again, that's where that training and experience comes in. We know not to hit a flagstone patio with 5,000 psi, right? That's going to rip that flagstone to pieces. So same thing about doing a house wash in Arizona. A lot of people don't think it's something to do around the eaves of your home where you get a lot of dirt and spider webs and things like that. We have a way we can inject a soap and solvent through the pressure washer, coat the side of the house, the roof area, and clean everything. And actually, it helps keep your paint, nice and shiny. It keeps the house, house clean. And if you have bird droppings and stuff like that, it gets all that stuff off. But
Oh,
more than
that's
anything,
true.
especially
Oh,
a
I
lot of
didn't
people
even
have
think
white.
about that, Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, because I know where I live, there's a lot of birds that accumulate on the rooftops, and
Mhm.
boy, that's an issue. What about driveways? You know how they
Oh
have
yeah.
like tire marks on driveways? You could do that too?
Absolutely. Yeah. Driveways are probably one of the most common driveways and walkways to the front of the house. You want your curb appeal to be as attractive as possible. So, we won't just come in and hit it with water, right? It's not going to look the same. So you got to come in and you usually pre-treat it with a biodegradable degreaser, something that's not going to hurt the animals or plants or anything like that. But you
Uh,
let it, you coat the area, you let it set for about 15 minutes, and then you pressure wash it with what's called a surface cleaner. It's a big round disc that has two pressure washer jets that just spins at 1,000 miles an hour, and that agitates everything really, really well. And then you rinse it, and it looks really, really nice. If it's done right and you use the right mixture, it looks really, really nice. But we also
oh,
do.
okay.
You mentioned birds. We do bird
Yeah.
spikes. So we just installed a bunch of bird spikes, gutter guards. A lot of people in Arizona have gutters, but areas like Arcadia, certainly some of the older homes that have mature trees and landscape, they'll have gutters and they get clogged. And a gutter guard is a very simple aluminum mesh that goes over the top. And you'll never have to get up and clean your gutters, or you'll never have to call somebody like me to come up and clean your gutters ever again. So, we can do quite a bit. Our menu of services is fairly broad.
Interesting. Interesting. I've got one final question. Monsoon season. What do
Oh
you
boy.
say to people that they want to wait until monsoon season's over? I mean, like this
Well,
year, we really haven't had a big monsoon season at all.
we haven't, and I just was looking at the weather report this morning just to see what the week looked like. Because I need to know. I have clients on the schedule, and if I need to call and reschedule, we'll do that.
Uh-huh.
But number one, why live in a home that's filthy and dirty? If we have a monsoon season and we get a dust storm, or we get a lot of wind and it blows everything into your backyard, and your cool deck is filthy, or if you're one of the people that has a very nice backyard, again, travertine or porcelain, why live with that? Why wait 3 months or 4 months? What we do is, if you do a reoccurring service, which a lot of people will do quarterly, that's very, very common for surfaces, exterior windows. A lot of people will do quarterly. Most people will only do their interior windows once a year. That's not as common. But of course, if you're going to sign up for something on a reoccurring basis, we're going to discount those services. So you can have a nice, clean home year round and not have to worry about, the dust storm coming in and all that dust and dirt and nonsense sitting on your patio and sitting on all your stuff. You can enjoy your home, your clean home, all year round. But also, another thing people don't realize is that a clean window stays clean in the rain. If you have your windows clean and it rains, well, the rain is as pure as it gets. It's gonna sheet right off, and it's gonna stay clean. So if you're
Oh, that makes
apprehensive, man,
sense.
my windows are really, really dirty. It's gonna rain a bunch in the next couple months. I'm not gonna do anything about it. Well, let's
Uh-huh.
get all the crap off of it. Let's get the calcium off. Let's get the dirt and bird poop off of it. And then when it rains, it's gonna put me out of business if it rains too often, because the windows are just gonna stay clean.
Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't
But
even
we do
think
get
about
that a
that.
lot this time of year. So
Oh, very cool. So again, can you remind our listeners, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
definitely reach out to me directly. Anybody that sees this can reach out to me directly. Again, I'm the owner. 480-330-2676 is my cell phone number. Call me, text me anytime. I'll reply personally and make sure we get out there and do a good job for you.
Oh, great. All right. Well, Brian, yeah, thank you so much for being on the show. It's Great to see you.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll see you again in person soon.
Okay.